Hi, this is our scripture and scrapping for the month of June, and our verse this month is Psalm 34:18. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. I particularly like this verse because it's such a comfort. We all have things that have made us brokenhearted. Our family in particular has had several things that have broken in the last 9 months. We've had 4 different people break bones, and some of them, thankfully, very minor. My 6-year-old granddaughter, thankfully, had very little pain and recovery time, but my son, my daughter, and my mother have had very severe breaks that have changed different things for them. So this is a comforting verse for those types of situations and all the other situations we have going on in our lives. For this layout, we're going to do a 1 page. You could turn it into a 2-page if you wanted to, but I'm just going to demonstrate 1 page. This is the one that I had made earlier and posted. Take it out of the plastic so it doesn't have the glare. And you can see we have a border, we have a frame, and we have this broken heart. And then you can add your mats in as you want. So I'm going to work on the frame, then the border, and then the hearts. For the frame, you could take a sheet of paper and then cut your black or white or whatever color you want as your main base down just a little bit to put on top. That's what I did with the previous page. But you could also add strips around the edge. I'm doing 1/4 inch strips that I'm going to add to this black sheet of cardstock. You can make the colors whatever you want. I'm using the Full of Wonder paper pack for this page, and black goes very well with it. White does as well. For the one that I'll work on when we're all together, I'm actually going to use a photo, and I'll probably use some paper that has sunflowers. So you can see it depends on your particular paper choices and what kind of thing you want to look at with your page. So I'm just sticking these down along the edges with repositionable tape. Trying to get it pretty straight. And you can use 1 sheet of paper and just cut all your pieces from that, or use a couple of different scraps and mix and match it. I have pre-cut most everything because I'm trying to stay within the 15-minute time limit as I understand it for YouTube. I've gotten away with a little bit longer a couple of times, but I don't want to count on that. So that's my frame made out of the small strips of paper. You can miter the edges if you want, or leave it just overlapping. Then I'm going to make the border across here. I use the decal blade with my straight trimmer. I think my mom's cat's getting ready to join us. We'll see. And I cut a 1 3/4 inch strip of 1 paper here that I'm going to add. And this is loosely based on a sketch that was on the blog, and it's also in the 101 sketchbook. And they put the strip at 3 inches, so I'm just following their guideline. You can put it up a little higher, a little lower, however it works for your page. Then I'm going to add my second strip, and this is a 1-inch strip, and this is also using the decal blade. If you do not have the decal blade, you could use some other blade or just a straight blade, or you could, if you felt really adventurous, you could just tear strips. I may not have this on exactly straight, but I can fix that up after we get finished. I'm just working for the general idea here. All right, and then I have a 3/4 inch strip, and I cut that with the regular straight blade. Now I'm going to add a sticker border on top of this. You could also use punch shapes or any other sticker that you wanted to. This was a border from the Full of Wonder pack that I liked, that had those hearts. So that's the border that goes across the page. And like I said, I think I have that just a little bit crooked. Let me just fix that a little bit. That's better. Okay, so the next part is our hearts. And for this, you're going to need several sizes. The instructions said to use the smallest of the custom cutting system hearts. You can see this one has a little egg in it. There's a larger one. If you don't have any pictures, you just want to make this about the heart and the verse, you could use that. And there was one even before that that's even bigger. And I may use this one for my photo because I did an 8x10. But for this particular example, I'm going to use the smallest one. And I cut one with the red blade on the outside, one with the green blade on the outside, and one with the blue blade on the outside. So we'll use all 3 blades. I also, and this can be done out of any paper that you want, I used the green blade first on the outside, then the red blade on the outside to make a little strip, and I'll show you why. We're just going to tack that down on top of that middle-sized heart, the one that we cut with the green blade. In this case, it actually is the green paper. And I'm doing that to give us that little margin all the way around that we can have the spacing that I'd like when we do the other heart. I'm not putting too much tape down on that. It's going to go down on top of this heart, but I'm going to hold off on that. Then our smallest heart, the one that I cut with the red blade, I'm going to start tearing it. And this, you want to choose a paper that has like a white inside so you can see the tears. And I would advise sticking each individual piece down as soon as you tear it, instead of waiting and trying to put it all back together. And this is where our little guide comes into place. You can do a lot of small pieces. I'm going to do some fairly big pieces since we're pressed for time. And sometimes I get it where I see the white and sometimes I don't, but that's okay. And this is not going to go back together exactly perfect, and it's not supposed to. And I'm going to tuck that where we can see more of the white on that than the other, or maybe not. And this is one of those where it's going to have some pieces that come up a little bit, and you can see those tear lines. If you wanted to cut with a blade instead, you could do that and then just tear it that way. But then I'm going to peel off that outline. That way you can see the edge around it. And then I'm going to stick that onto our largest heart, the one that I cut with the blue blade on the outside. And that's going to go right here. I'm not sticking it down right now because I forgot to put my foam tape out, but I like the foam tape to give that a little bit of dimension like that. The most important part, of course, is our verse. And I've printed these, but I've also used the perforating blade so that I can tear it apart into strips. And we have a nice big area right here to put a verse in. On my example, I used a pen to write in that, and that will work too if you want to do that. But I'm going to just use these taped verses for this. Oops, that's not the first one. This one I'd already added a little bit. And I'm going to need to get that a little closer so I can fit everything in. I like seeing a little bit of black in between the strips there. But I don't want to really cover up any of the borders. Let me move that up just a little bit more. That's one of the wonderful things about the repositionable tape, being able to move things. And I think I'll trim that one just a little bit more. And I know some of you are cringing since I have tape on this piece of paper, but it does help with these small pieces like that to hold it in place. And this also does not have to be super smooth tearing. I just realized my phone was giving me a low battery thing. I hope it kept recording during that time. We'll see. And there we go. And that's all of our layout. You can cut mats to add in here, whatever size your photos are and whatever direction you want. In this particular one, I added horizontal mats and kind of did some overlapping. I probably will do more vertical in this one, but we shall see. So that's it for today. And I will put the measurements in an email and on the Facebook post. And I look forward to doing this with some of you guys tomorrow. Thank you.